Alrighty, we are looking at angles within a polygon, and so we'll just go ahead and jump right on in. So what we've got here for our objectives is that one, we want to be able to find out what all of the interior angles are going to add up to. So when you're dealing with a polygon, all of those interior angles are going to add up to something, and so we're going to be able to do that. We've got a pretty cool formula that we get to use for it. Then the other thing that we want to do is we want to be able to figure out what each interior angle and what each exterior angle are in a regular polygon. Now remember, regular is all the sides are the same and all the angles are the same. So that's what regular means. So we've got two definitions here. First is the polygon interior angle sum theorem. This is where that formula comes from. So basically that says that in a convex polygon, so remember convex is you've got your polygon and then all the diagonals are going to be on the interior of that polygon. So in a convex polygon, all of the interior angles add up to just n minus 2 times 180. And so that's kind of our formula here. And the n is just the number of sides that you have. And then the other thing that we have here is the polygon exterior angle theorem, sum theorem. And so this one, there's no formula or anything needed. All it says is that in a convex polygon, then they're all going to add up to 360. So that's all that is. I think that that's pretty cool. That works for every polygon that's a convex polygon. All right, let's take a look at some examples here. So first, what is the sum of the measures of the interior angles? Well, the first thing that we would want to do on this is just determine what our value of n is. So determine the number of sides. So you can look at this. I know it's a hexagon. I know a hexagon has 6 sides, but it's never a bad idea to just sit there and count each of the sides out so that way you know how many sides there are. And so when I do that, I get that each of those, it's going to come out to be 6. And so now what I need to do from here to find the measure is just plug it into that formula. So it's n minus 2, so 6 minus 2 times 180. So times 180 degrees. So that comes out to be 4 times 180 degrees. And so when I multiply those together, I just get that comes out to be 720 degrees. So that means that all of these interior angles right here, so each of these interior angles are all going to add up to be 720 degrees. All right, next, what is the measure of each individual angle in a regular polygon? So again, remember, all sides are the same, all angles are the same. So first thing you're going to want to do is determine what the sum is. And so I know I've got an octagon here, but you got to find out what your value of n is. And so I'm just going to number these sides real quick. So I get n is 8. And so when I plug that in, I get 8 minus 2, which 8 minus 2 is just 6. So it's 6 times 180. And so when I multiply those together, I get that my number is going to come out to be 1080. So all of those interior angles are going to add up to 1080 degrees. Well, then to find out what each individual angle is going to end up being, I just take the sum of them, and now I'm just going to divide it by my angles. So I've got 8 different angles. I've got 1080 degrees. 1080 divided by 8 comes out to be 135 degrees. So that means that this angle right here is just going to be 135 degrees. And so each of these angles here are going to be 135 degrees. So that's what the measure of each interior angle is going to be. So 135 degrees. All right. Last one that we have here is we have got to find the measure of each exterior angle. Well, determine the sum of all the angles. This one here, we don't actually have to use the formula because the sum of all of the exterior angles is always going to be 360 degrees. It's always going to be that. And so then the same thing, we've got 8 sides here. So let's just take that and divide by the number of sides. So I've got 360 degrees and I'm going to divide it by 8. And when I do that, I get that each angle is just going to be 45 degrees. So that means that, and when we talk about the exterior angles, we're not talking about this exterior angle right here. We're talking about, like, if I go ahead and I stretch this off, we're talking about this angle is 45 degrees right here. And so I can do that kind of all the way around here. This angle is 45 degrees. And then we could do kind of, helps if I dash that right. But anyway, you get the picture. Each of those exterior angles there are just going to come out to be 45 degrees.